Ashna, a youth ambassador at Indeed We Can, and today we have a very special guest with us here today, Ms. Anu Vittal. Anu is an enthusiastic marketing professional and an entrepreneur. She is currently the CEO of ABC Inc. and an art director at An Affair with Art. She has worked with various government agencies, including the federal government, to promote bilateral trade in the arts. And she is an award-winning visual artist and poet as well. All Canada's chairperson for social change, a compassionate community leader who truly inspires the world, and above all, a loving humanitarian who wishes to create a legacy for all. She is also an author and a speaker who helps empower all to create a legacy for happiness. So please help us welcome Anu here. Thank you for being with us today.
Thank you. That was such a nice introduction.
So let's get started. Can you please help us learn more about your background and yourself?
So I was born in India, and my education mainly consisted of sales and marketing towards my later years. In terms of business, I think that kind of came automatically because I did my post-graduation and my subjects were business law and economics. And then as I moved countries and experienced life in different places, including Canada, I really gravitated to becoming a marketing person for almost 6 years, and then later supply chain caught my attention. So I spent a lot of time there. But then coming to Canada was such a homecoming for me. It was such a great opportunity to be with so many cultures. I felt the need to really expand, and I gave up my corporate life. So for the last 13 years I've been an entrepreneur, and then my passion became my profession, so I'm an entrepreneur. So It's been a very interesting journey.
That's really good to hear. So you've been in Canada for such a long time now. So how have your experiences been here? Any challenges that you may have faced?
Yeah, I think challenges are a part of life. I mean, I was watching a movie and the guy says, if you don't have a problem or a challenge, you're not living. The fact is, every time you get a problem or a challenge, it's an opportunity to better yourself. It's an opportunity to learn a lesson. So there is a lot of magic in that journey, and I've always believed in being someone who takes the road less traveled. So my first journey into entrepreneurial, onto an entrepreneurial platform was a company called the Beanbag Factory, and everybody would laugh and say, beanbags, really? Do you make money? And I said, yeah, we do R&D, and there are 26 different styles of beanbags. We work with children with autism, we help patients with hip dysplasia. And they're like, really? And brain surgery? And people just need to expand their mind towards everything that's available to them, whether it's, you're marketing a sari or a car or a beanbag. When you try to really expand that opportunity to be able to give service and help others, and that is the main purpose of an entrepreneur, to really reach out. And Canada is such a fantastic place. 180 countries are represented, so many cultures. We're so blessed that we even made traditional beanbag chairs which were like a divan in India.
Wow.
With the mirror work and the zardozi, and so you can really have that opportunity as an entrepreneur to give service in so many different ways.
Yeah, especially in Canada.
Yes.
So
from a challenges perspective, I think there were many. There were several. Finding the right space, trying to understand the market. This was at the time of recession in 2008. But then you just keep bettering yourself and figuring out at the same time, how else can I make this a success? And failing is a normal part of an entrepreneur. If you don't fail, you don't succeed. So,
learning process as well. Very true.
I mean, when Albert Einstein was asked a question, Thomas Edison was asked the question about the light bulb, and a reporter said to him, you failed already 99 times. Shouldn't you stop trying? He said, no, I just now know 99 ways of not doing it right. Closer to my goal.
Very true. Very, very true. So you've also worked with the federal government, as I mentioned before. So can you please tell us a little bit more about that and your experiences there?
So I worked last year with the federal government of Canada in India. It was actually a fantastic experience going back. I tell people, like, my birth countries and my home country, working to support the two, because I was growing the bilateral trade. And what I understood very quickly, and is a very interesting fact, the total contribution to the GDP of Canada from the art and culture sector is $54.6 billion per annum, which translates into 4%, and that is equal to 1.1 million jobs which is the sum total of all of the jobs greater than the ones in the Canadian Armed Forces, mining, forestry and fishery. And in India, after agriculture, guess what's the largest contributor to the GDP?
Arts.
Art and culture. So it was very interesting because people don't look at art and culture as transactions. People see them as, you know, a side thing. But you know, when children are going and paying $40 for a dance class or a piano class, why are we doing it? Of course, to enhance their right brain and their talent, but also the great opportunity for them to do something with it. I mean, look at Justin Bieber. His net worth is $250 million. Look at Rihanna. I mean, you're telling me the arts is not something that can make you a millionaire before the age of 19?
Right.
Of course it can.
Exactly.
If you are in the arts, if you are in technology, I give the example of Mark Zuckerberg, and in sport is Sachin Tendulkar. All of them millionaires before the age of 19. So I highly encourage this opportunity, and my job and my role was to be able to showcase actual monetary transactions. So I did a lot of work with Bollywood because that's a very big industry there. And if you look again, the greatest example I can give you is from the James Bond brand. The riff of James Bond. You can play that riff of the opening, you know, scene of James Bond movies in more than 100 countries. People will recognize it. It's a 60-year-old brand. Look at the value of that riff. It's paying the guy royalties too.
Oh, wow.
So the arts, the books we write, the music we make, all of that is so critical because it touches us every single day. How can you not have music in the car when you get in? You know, the makeup you put on, you're an artist. The cupcake that's designed for you by the barista, or the latte that's made for you. Everything is art. And in the end, all you have to do is figure out a way to really be able to position it in a manner that will make you money. Because artists originally create for themselves, not for the money. But there's so much opportunity out there.
Yeah.
I think it's the greatest industry that we can invest in today.
Wow, that's really, you gave us so much knowledge. So you've worked towards women empowerment as the Canada chairperson at World Economic Forum. So what kind of challenges did you realize that women face, and how can they overcome those challenges?
No, I think women overall around the world still don't believe that they're enough and that they're strong. And that, I think, is a belief system that we automatically gain from various things over the years. It starts with your family, your friends, and you're always trying to up yourself. That actually there is no competition. Women are already very strong, very capable of a lot more things, and there is no competition to another man or even to another woman. Everyone's unique and different. So I think that mindset is also very important in empowering women. But one of the things I noticed in India, because this forum is from India, which is common again here, is there's so much that women want to do, but they're just afraid to take that first step, afraid of failure. And giving them that opportunity and the guidance and support is a very big thing. Rural India has a tremendous opportunity. It's just that not all of them are able to speak English very fluently. And that again is something that sort of, it's a very easy to do kind of a shift or a bridge. And I hope that indeed we'll look into that one part, because once you can communicate clearly, then you can pretty much express yourself and be able to go for that job or the promotion that you need. And this, I think, is very important for empowering people, especially women around the world, and in India specifically, the language and the mindset.
Yeah, it's such a small barrier to overcome, just language, that's all it is. So what's your next target or goal that you want to accomplish?
You know, I mean, I guess I've just written a book, and the book is called Create Happiness by Being Spiffy. I say as multi-dimensional human beings, we need to expand beyond the average 40 to 45%, which is what 90% of the world operates at. And so for me, it would be difficult to say just one thing, but what I did put together in this book, which is called Create Happiness by Being Spiffy, is the word spiffy, which you know is a Canadian slang word for when you look good on the outside, SPIFFY. But I made it into an acronym to talk about the 6 verticals in our lives that are necessary to be able to invest in, to be an all-rounded human being. So I have a goal for each, and so spiffy, the acronym is S for spirituality, P for physical, P for personal, P for professional, F for financial, and last but not least, F for family and friends. So in every one of these, I have something that I want to give back. And what I've realized in the last year or so, it's just been less than a year now, that I've been talking and giving workshops on this. I do a live audit. People are fascinated. They say, oh my God, I have so much more that I have to do, you know, and this is so structured, it's so easy. It's structured, but it's unstructured. But at least you're setting goals in such a way that you're able to sort of achieve them, smart goals.
Right.
So I want to be able to really write another book, maybe on every investment pillar, to that which people can relate to from life experiences and expand, and know that everything that they do, everything that's happening to them, there's no negative or positive. It's an opportunity to become a better version of yourself. So definitely writing a book, a lot more speaking engagements, and I guess growing the trade between India and Canada, and even globally, you know, growing the arts is so important. Supporting the artists, empowering the artists, finding financially viable platforms for them. And women overall, they're actually quite good at this. You know, I mean, they're really more tuned in to that right side of the brain.
Yeah.
And what happens when you do something like this, you really bring your whole family together, which is what Indeed We Can is trying to do. And then you connect through cultures between countries and people, just like you do with food. A song, a movie can make humans come together without a language barrier, which we just talked about. So creating that cultural, community and social capital is so important that it eventually converts into economic capital. It's invisible, but when it converts, it is a fabulous conversion into making the GDP of the country better, in making the lives of the people better, the women, you know, empowering them financially.
I really like how you like create a bridge between arts and like financial, because those are your two main things. I really like how you do that. So you've been in this industry for a long time. You've been in many different industries for a long time. So is there anything that you would have done differently?
No, I don't have any regrets. I honestly have enjoyed my life journey. I cannot say that it wasn't without its painful moments, but pain is very necessary. I learned that because I started researching about pain before I could find happiness. And I always give this example of when you go to the gym and you start working out and you lift a heavier weight, what's happening is your muscle is breaking down and there's pain, but that physical pain is acceptable. This mental fitness comes from being able to be in the pain awareness, in the pain moment, because it's just a passing moment. It's like life is a Ferris wheel. You'll go through that, then you'll come back up, and you're expanding that muscle in your mind and you're growing it. So I have seen great success in my corporate life. I have seen those days as an entrepreneur when I lost $50,000, $100,000. And I remember the time when I had $40 in my bank account and I went to the store to see what I could buy so I could survive the weekend for $40.
Oh my goodness.
So, you know, you go through that and you go through this. And it's just one of those things that makes you, I guess, a more compassionate human being. It makes you more empathetic. It makes you understand, especially with the organization, Indeed We Can, you know, when you have fallen in the hole, you can then empower others. Because if I'm not having that situation or that experience, I can't really genuinely help the other person. So, you know, and that's why I'm happy that organizations like Indeed We Can are doing the kind of work that that's so much needed. So, no, I wouldn't change anything else. I pretty much multitask like crazy. I think my mind is like a submarine. I call it being the captain of my submarine. So I fill the tank, and I finish the work, and then I'm done. I go to my next compartment, unfill, fill, unfill, fill. But I'm doing a lot of different things, and I enjoy it very much. I really want for the world to be a much more happier place, and I feel that I can do it, but I cannot do it alone. I can touch a few hearts, like I can do with my interview or in the room, and then you go touch more hearts.
Right.
So we all do it together.
And going back to what you said about pain, like I always believe in, if you don't know pain, you wouldn't know what happiness is either. Like without the darkness, you wouldn't know light.
Absolutely.
So I always believe in that as well. So what advice do you have for people that are interested in marketing, entrepreneurship, and like arts and media?
Well, entrepreneurship is a journey by itself that is unique and different. So, you know, it's something that you want to take baby steps with, but once you're very clear in the direction and have a proper business plan in place, it's a very fulfilling opportunity. But if not, and the first steps would be rather getting into a job to sort of understand how it works. And if you have a passion towards the arts or a certain industry, then get a job in that industry that allows for you to expand and learn. And then in my case, I worked and did my business for almost 3 years, I think, so I would work 16 to 18 hours a day. So entrepreneurship is not for the weak-hearted, it is for the people who don't give up, are extremely tenacious, and say to themselves that, this is what I want to do. Because everybody has a gift. The whole idea of being on this planet is that you have been sent here with a divine gift, and finding your gift is the meaning of life, and the purpose is to be able to really give it away to people. And as long as you know what that is, if you don't, then spend some time in introspection or spirituality, meditation, or whatever it is that it takes for you to find out who you are and why you're here. Because we are not our job, we are not someone's husband or wife, or because all the time you think Anu is so and so, but Anu is an artist. But if you're not any of that, who are you?
Exactly.
That is when you will find your gift. For example, I would say to myself, or my introduction to that would be, I am a loving humanitarian who wants to create a legacy of happiness for humanity. That's my soul journey, that is my soul purpose. So it doesn't have to have a title, it's just what I believe in, my ultimate purpose.
Okay, thank you. That's really helpful for everybody. So do you have any messages for incoming immigrants?
Incoming immigrants. I would say that Canada is a great country, but again, the challenges and the hard work is something that they should be ready to put in or invest. It really helps, and this is a land of opportunity. This is a place where you have a very unique idea. You can really bring it to life. There's government funding available for people coming in, and it's a great place to actually live life in the most unique way, being able to really be who you are, yourself. Because I see that nobody really judges you in Canada. You can have a purple hair and piercings, and people will walk by and say, "Oh my God, you look so cool!
Yeah.
Why did you do that? I like that." So this is really a place for you to sort of find your happy place and expand on your passion. And there's so much people helping. And look at what your organization does, or Indeed We Can is doing. I think that's a great step forward for people to connect onto that platform and find mentors. That's important. That's one thing I talk about. Find mentors. They always help.
Yeah.
That's what I would say to new immigrants.
Thank you so much for being here with us today and sharing your experiences. You really taught us a lot, and I thank you for that very much. So yeah, please join us on June 17th. Come and meet her. She's a very awesome person. And yeah, thank you.
So it could be very exciting. I like the concept, Miracle Moms celebrating Father's Day. I think it's a rather unique idea, and it's such a great celebration to bring families together.
Yeah, fathers usually aren't really thanked for their doings too.
That's true.
So.
That's true. It's true. So I look forward to the event.
Yeah, I'll look forward to seeing you there.